Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at Klarna's IPO, what retail investors should and need to know. Remember, they're IPOing tomorrow, and if maybe you're watching it on the day of the IPO, so do check our channel because we're going to be covering this IPO live as it happens. So make sure you're subscribed and you hit the like button. But everything you need to know before the IPO hits the market, I'm going to be telling you all the information about this IPO. Remember, this is quite a big company that's IPOing. They obviously haven't IPO'd before, but they have raised money before, so we do have a good idea about the valuations, the price, how to buy it, how to get involved, all the risks, all the rewards, and if I'm going to be buying it or not. Again, nothing I say during this video is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based off anything I say. I am only reporting the news. So it is going to be trading as ticker symbol KLAR, and what retail investors need to know. So what is Klarna? Klarna is finally set to go public tomorrow. It's been long overdue, I think. It's been quite a big company. September the 10th on the New York Stock Exchange under ticker KLAR. Remember, it's set to go public tomorrow. That could change last minute, but we are very confident it's going live tomorrow. The company is offering 34.3 million shares at an expected price range of $35 to $37, which values the deal at roughly $1.46 billion. At the top of the range, Klarna market value would be around 14 billion. So this is going to IPO at a fairly decent price in terms of market cap. It's going to be part of the big boys with a $14 billion market cap. That doesn't mean you're not going to be able to make some gains on it. I think it's going to attract a lot of institutional investors, and it already has, because the IPO is led by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley. A typical 15% overwhelmment option known as a green shoe could push the final proceeds higher if investor demand proves strong. So what is Klarna? What's the financial snapshot? Am I buying it? Am I not? We'll come into all of that. If you are enjoying this, make sure you do hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed, because we're going to be covering the IPO live as it happens. So whether you're going to get your shares or not through Robinhood or whatever means, remember, we do have links down below on signing up to Robinhood and other exchanges to see if you can get your IPO, but you will be waiting, and we'll be waiting with you live on the show. So do check us out. Make sure you subscribe so you see us when this IPO goes live. So what does Klarna do? Klarna is one of the pioneers in buy now, pay later, BNPL. It lets shoppers split purchases into installments, often interest-free, while merchants pay Klarna a small fee for bringing in a sale. The company also offers shopping apps, payment solutions, and merchant services, building in a broader financial super app. We've all seen their logos all over the place. Am I a fan of companies like this? Morally, no. Do I invest personally in companies like this? No. But is there money to be made? I'm sure there is. This is basically a company that makes money when they put people in debt. Nothing wrong with, there's a few things wrong with it, but in terms of making money as an investor, it's not a new idea. It's just the buy now, pay later aspect. They are the leaders of this sector. So the business has a global reach. Klarna says it services 111 million active users and partners with around 790,000 merchants across 26 countries. Big retail partners include Walmart, a win that shifted away from rival Affirm. So you might have heard of Affirm if you know about Klarna. Affirm has been trading on the stock market, but it hasn't been doing too well, if I remember correctly. If we go to their chart at the moment, they are coming back, but remember that IPO came down, went all the way up, had a bear market, and they are coming back. So that this chart is not looking bearish for Affirm. Higher lows, higher highs. So that does show that the sentiment within this range, even though Affirm is potentially a smaller company than Klarna, their market cap is 27 million, and Klarna might be IPOing with a market cap of 14 billion. So I think Klarna is probably a better company than Affirm, and it might IPO at a lower price. So there certainly is room to grow for Klarna, maybe even on that day, potentially 100% gain on IPO prices on the day. So the business has a real global reach. We know about that. What's their financial snapshot? Revenue. Klarna generated about 823 million in Q2 of 2025, with a full year revenue running around 3 billion. So they're not short on cash. There you go. Profitability: after posting a small net profit in 2024, about 21 million, Klarna swung back to a $53 million loss last quarter. Rising credit costs and stock-based compensation weighed on results. Credit losses: defaults remain a risk. Klarna's credit loss rate was about 0.56% of gross merchant value, though management says delinquency rates are trending lower. The growth: Klarna processed $571 billion or $55 billion in purchases in the first half of 2025, up 17% year over year. Its take rate, the cut is it keeps on the transactions, has also improved. So how does it stack up against rivals? Investors will naturally compare Klarna to Affirm. Affirm trades about an 8.8% sales, while Klarna is coming public closer to 4 to 5x sales. That discount could make Klarna appealing if it can prove it's on a sustainable path to profitability. And that's what we just spoke about. It does look like Klarna is the better value company if you look at the sales data. But Klarna heavily is reliant on buy now, pay later. It also faces the same challenges: rising borrowing costs, credit risk if consumers pull back, and tough competition from Affirm, PayPal, and Block's Afterpay. There's also the issue about regulation, the regulatory cloud. Two big rule changes are coming that retail investors should know about. In the US, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has ruled that buy now, pay later firms must follow similar rules to credit card companies, things like clear statements, refund policies, and dispute handling. In the UK, the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, is preparing to bring buy now, pay later fully under regulation by 2026 with stricter affordability checks and oversight. These rules can add compliance costs, but also strengthen Klarna's credibility as one of the largest, best capitalized buy now, pay later firms. So what are the analysts saying? Goldman Sachs highlighted Klarna as a clear standout of the buy now, pay later sector, noting its global scale and improving unit economics. Remember, this is all in the newsletter. First link in the description. Go and check it out. This story, you can go and read it all again and look at all the numbers and get all your news every single day into your inbox. That's the 5 top things you need to know every day. The market snapshot, what's going on in the day, what is the chart of the day, all of that directly in your inbox. First link in the description. Go and check it out. JP Morgan has also said demand is strong enough that the IPO is likely to price at the top of the range, suggesting solid institutional interest. Some analysts, however, warn Klarna's swing back to losses in Q2 shows the model is still fragile and could struggle in weaker consumer environments. So this is what you need to watch on day one. What is the final price that Klarna is being offered at? If Klarna prices at $37 or higher, demand is strong. Remember, they can choose what price they set it at. If it's at $37, that means there is lots of demand. If it's at $34, there wasn't as much demand. So keep an eye on what the final price is going to be for the IPO. Trading versus issued price. Does the stock hold above $37 once it starts trading? We need to see how does it open. It'll probably open above $37. In my opinion, the price is going to be $37 for the IPO, and in my opinion, I think it will open above $37. Peer reaction. Affirm and PayPal often move in sympathy with buy now, pay later headlines. Lockups, insider selling after the first 6 months can create volatility. I mean, if we look at the charts right now, Affirm is down slightly on the day. What's PayPal doing? PayPal is also down slightly on the day. So going into tomorrow, it's not too much to say. I mean, we're not pumping like crazy, we're not dumping like crazy, so I don't think that will have an effect on it at this point in time. But once it IPOs, you can expect PayPal and Affirm to move with it. Lockups, insider selling after the first 6 months can create extra volatility. So Klarna has 2 things retail investors should respect: scale and brand recognition, but it also comes with classic IPO cocktail of regulatory uncertainty and recent losses and tough competition. Unlike many tech IPOs, Klarna is not a growth story, it's a credit business at heart. If the IPO holds up above the pricing range in the first week, that could be a sign that institutional investors believe Klarna can manage the credit cycle and keep growing. But remember, buy now, pay later is still an untested model in a downturn. For now, Klarna looks like a discounted entry point compared to Affirm, but investors should keep a close eye on how it performs in the earnings report as a public company. In my opinion, again, not financial advice, if I was buying this, I wouldn't want to be holding this long term, just because we don't know how, as I've just said here, we don't know how buy now, pay later will do in a downturn in the credit market. It's a fairly new thing over the last 5-6 years. And we don't know much about it. There's also more regulatory backlash coming to it, and people say it should be regulated like credit cards, and it should be, and people should have affordability tests, and they should do. Also, interest rates coming down might affect them as well. So if I was buying this, I'll buy it just so I can make money on the day of the IPO, because I think there will be a lot of interest. Holding it long term, I would have to do more research, but it does interest me, and we will be covering it live. So let me know your thoughts about Klarna down in the comment section below. Remember what Affirm did when it IPO'd. It did IPO at a time where the markets were starting to it was actually a good time, 2021. It came down, it had its peak at $180, and then it capitulated in the bear market. But it did go up on launch day, and I'm sure its IPO price was lower than $88, but it did go up about 65% since the price that it started trading on the stock market, and I'm sure Affirm IPO'd at a lower price than that. So there is certainly money to be made in the first day or two, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. Go and check out the newsletter. There will be a link for the newsletter literally here, and a link to something else you should watch over here. Anyway, go check them out. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.